So I mean, Bill did mention the Novavax thing. Maybe we can chat about that
Yeah.
this morning. What do you make of? So just this past, it's been 6 months, maybe 7 months since we got the first news of the vaccine, and we've basically, the first kind of vaccine approvals, and we've gone from, peak of a pandemic, nobody can leave their house, to now, in places like the U.S., across the country, we've got big sporting events going on, like NBA playoffs. People are there in person. Just, have you ever seen anything? You've been following biotech and all this stuff for a long time. Like, how quickly things have changed. What do you make of it?
It's really just been astounding, Nick. Just think where we were a year ago. This time a year ago, the world was a much different place, and the difference has been these vaccines that have come out, and the pace of development, the pace of testing, everything has really just been remarkable, and the efficacy of these vaccines has just been mind-blowing. For a vaccine to be developed from scratch, basically, and several of them come out with 90% plus efficacy levels, is just absolutely fantastic. You mentioned Novavax. They announced their efficacy results today. It really wasn't surprising, a little over 90% efficacy. Again, great news. I did see that the stock was up some in pre-market trading, and now just at least a few seconds ago, it was actually down a little bit. And it's down a little under 2% right now as we speak. You think, well, why? I mean, Novavax had good news. I think this is one of those cases where investors expected it. And when investors already expect something and then the actual news comes out, it's just like, okay, what's next? And I think we're seeing, I'm going to go old school here, Nick. Janet Jackson, I think, had a song way back when called "What Have You Done For Me Lately?" And so Novavax now has to do something else lately for investors. Particularly, the company needs to file and win EUA, which it hopes to file in Q3.
Yeah, so I'll give you another reference. Shania Twain, they don't impress me much, right?
There you go. It.
Yeah. So what do you make of, so Novavax? Obviously very exciting to have another vaccine out there. We see places around the world still, trying to get their vaccine rollout. And the more supply you can get out there, you can. Does it say anything about them that they were, they're kind of trailing behind the main pack, or just more to the good?
I mean, you got to remember, Novavax is tiny. I mean, really tiny. I mean, you compare Novavax against a Pfizer. I mean, there is no comparison, or Johnson & Johnson or an AstraZeneca. So for Novavax to even be in the thick of this thing is a pretty good story for the company. Now, they have encountered some issues, some manufacturing challenges, some supply chain bottlenecks, raw material shortages. So they've run into some issues. But overall, just objectively speaking here, I don't own stock in Novavax, but overall, I think the company has done a pretty good job of navigating some treacherous waters, really, and trying to figure out how to establish a supply chain, make partnership deals, and they've done it. They've had some hiccups along the way, but they've done it relatively well. So I think overall, Novavax has done a pretty good job, especially considering how tiny the company is. And now they're at the cusp of potentially being, having an EUA on their hands in the not too distant future, and start seeing some serious cash roll in.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I see Brian is slowly but surely coming in here. So maybe this will be my last one before I throw it up to you. So Novavax getting this emergency use authorization. We've seen some discussions about, I believe, Pfizer getting actually full FDA approval. Where are we at on that process? And just getting these things all the way ready to go to the full population, children and things like that.
So Pfizer has already received EUA for adolescents. They're conducting clinical studies for younger kids. Moderna's doing the same thing, and both Pfizer and Moderna have filed for full FDA approval. They'll win it. I mean, this is one of those. Rarely can you say, "Hey, here's what the FDA is going to do for sure." Look, here's what the FDA is going to do for sure. They're going to approve these vaccines. And so, that's where we are.
Absolutely. Well, Brian, are you there? How are things going on your, oh no, we may have lost him again. Um, Well, I can keep going. I mean, do folks have questions here on the Slido, or Keith? What's another story out there? I'm not the biotech expert extraordinary. I mean, what does this do for Novavax, the business? You talked about revenue us coming in. Does this all of a sudden? I mean, but the stock's down, so does the market already price this in, or what do you make of where it
Yeah,
goes from here?
so the market's already priced it in to a large extent. And again, just having the efficacy results doesn't mean anything in and of itself. We've already heard from Novavax from their UK study results, so we already had a sneak peek at what the company was likely to report anyway. And so I think investors right now are just waiting for, for the company to file for EUA. When EUA starts shipping those vaccines, see if they can make their production goals, and see the revenue start to flow in for this company. So I think that's what investors are looking for now. That's why the stock really didn't move materially. I mean, it's down a little bit, but not much in the big scheme of things. So I think Novavax will have some good news in a few months, and we'll see what happens from there.